I'm at a point where I don't know where to go with my content. I'ma just read a manga. You're gonna want to sit for this one. Before you ask, no, this is not a face reveal. This is a homunculus. Imagine this, you're watching this video right now. You get jump scared. This guy's an asshole. But you heard that jump scare and reacted to it externally, while internally, your receptors send signals to the brain which then send them back to your muscles to react. That one's just for fun. Take a look at the homunculus. Notice how big the head and hands are? Well, that reflects how many signals the brain receives from them, meaning the bigger it is, the more often we use them. As you're watching this, you're using your eyes, your ears, maybe you're holding your phone with your hands. Accumulate all of that and you have this, a distorted map of the body based on sensory or motor functions. The person who came up with this was wild. Dirk Penfield, he's Canadian and a madman, a neurosurgeon who performed brain surgeries. Whilst the patients were still awake, he would anesthetize their scalp, cut through the skin, crack open the skull, and go full-on Zeus mode, just zapping their brain and asking questions like, what do you feel? Do you see anything? Are you having a boner? Something like that, and then map those functions to the brain, all while fully awake with their heads being cut open. I just googled it, that shit looks horrifying. Wilder would then go on to invent the Montreal procedure, the brain surgery to treat epilepsy that's still used today. Now, I'm not a med student, so if you told me that people undergo brain surgeries while being fully conscious, I would grow shorter, cause stop pulling my leg. This was back in 1940, I can forgive him for not putting them to sleep. But technology and medicine have advanced so vastly over the years, there's no way that people are still awake during surgery. You guys know me, I don't read a lot of mangas. Manga is the script, anime is the performance, and I'm here for the show. Based on my first manga experience, I think I have a tendency to read fucked up mangas. But it's good, I find something really attractive about these stories, cause animes are not that weird anymore. Never mind. The start of Homunculus was rather unconventional. It's like you were thrown right into the story and had to figure out what's going on and what's gonna happen. There's no intro, no names, no nothing. Just a man curled up in a fetal position sleeping in his car. It wasn't until 100 pages in that we got to know his name was Susumu Nakoshi. And for the rest of the manga, you're gonna be spending a lot of time trying to figure out who the hell he really is. For starters, he's homeless, living out of a beat-up car parked right between an extravagant hotel and a park filled with homeless people. He has not shaved, he's got no job, no money, and no bitches. He's just like me. What the fuck? I can give you money? Great. I'm gonna have to drill a hole in your head. Wilder, you son of a... For 700,000 yen, Nakoshi let a stranger drill a hole in his skull. Nakoshi wanted the money, but Manabu, who kinda looks like a blobfish, or Tim Lockwood, he's the manga's Wilder Penfield. He is obsessed with humans and wants to know everything about them. You know the saying that humans only ever use 10% of their brains? Well, I use half of that, but Manabu believes that drilling a hole in our skull would unlock unused potential, like developing our sixth sense. This process is called trepanation, and must I warn you, do not drill a hole in your head. You're not gonna be seeing ghosts, you're gonna be seeing God. After trepanation, they begin to test the effects. So they went to a famous ghost tunnel, a haunted hospital. Nope, nothing. Let's try cards. 5 symbols, 5 cards each. 25 cards total. All Nakoshi had to do was to pick the same 5 cards from the deck. The odds of getting one was 20%, but the odds of getting all 5 was nearly impossible. Nakoshi starts picking the cards. No, this would only work if you're not thinking about it. Use only the left side of your body. Bypass all logical reasoning and just pick them by intuition. He flips them one by one. He got 4 out of 5, but this was not luck. No one's this lucky. They brushed it off and called it a day, but Nakoshi was far from being done. As he wandered down the streets, a gust of wind blew past him, and there it was. In the chaos of the city, he saw him. Bully Maguire.
I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye. Look at little Goblin Jr. Gonna cry?
Thanks to bullying, Nakoshi covers his eye and begins to see them. Weird, distorted images of people. Look closer. They are as intriguing as they are eerie. and the rest of the manga will be filled with these strange, disturbing panels, like a kid and a robot, a girl made out of sand, a dickhead. What the fuck is this panel about? Nakoshi eventually tells Manabu about these sightings, questioning whether they're real or just hallucinations from having his head lobotomized. The first encounter you're gonna see is when Nakoshi confronts a gang leader. He's the kid and a robot. Now these two panels are the same, you just gotta think of how, why, and what makes them related. When the boss is serious, he's a robot. But when Nakoshi talks about his pinky, a little boy is revealed, hidden inside this strong front. In the first picture that we saw, the kid was holding a sickle trying to cut off his own pinky. What the fuck is up with that pinky? Nakoshi probes further, and the boy emerges from the robot. Pinky, sickle, robot, boy. The author lays out all these hints for you to connect the dots. This is where you gotta use that 10%. As they confide in one another, Nakoshi reveals that he once ruined a friend's life. They were just playing. He had no idea a car would come. It was an accident that left him buried in guilt for years. The boss hears this and breaks down in tears. Not out of pity, but because he saw himself in Nakoshi. The boss ends up cutting off his own pinky to atone for the guilt he had buried within himself all these years. He quits the Yakuza right after, and Nakoshi never sees him as a robot again. That robot is a homunculus. A homunculus is a manifestation of a person's distortions hidden deep within their minds. A homunculus is a person's deepest trauma and insecurities, and Nakoshi has the ability to see them. And things are about to get more interesting from here on out. Homunculus is a fucked up manga for fucked up people, and guess what? We're all a little fucked up. It unravels the fragile layers of identity, drilling you into the human psyche and explores how messed up humans can be. And Nakoshi is the epitome of messed up. He's a liar. His lip twitches whenever he lies, so all the hobos know that he's fake. But he buys them booze, so it's all good. He smells and eats his own cum. What? Yep, bet you weren't expecting that line. The story goes on with Nakoshi trying to fix other people's homunculus by uncovering their buried pain. It's not as healing as it sounds. It's disturbing and even destructive. The more he peers into others, the more he loses himself. His own past, his guilt, his identity, all of it starts bleeding into the homunculi he sees. So reality becomes unstable and he spirals into insanity. Then it becomes really personal, and the horror is not about what he sees in others, but what he refuses to see in himself. There's a quiet depth behind his actions. Like, why does he park between the hotel and the park? Why is he always in a suit even though he's jobless? Why does he feast on his own semen? Why was he so desperate to see the homunculi again, even after losing the ability once? You'll spend the entire manga trying to figure him out while connecting the dots. Some are easy, like the man covered in glasses hinting that he doesn't want to be looked at, or the girl who turns into wind, always drawing attention to herself, or the huzz with 7 legs symbolizing she has 6 pussies. What? While you try to connect these dots, you're also peeling into a person's deepest distortions of themselves. These are not fictional characters with fictional problems. These are all humans that face the same struggles as we do. And the most human of them all is our protagonist. He's a miserable prick, covered in lies to the point where he lies to himself. He spends the whole story uncovering others' truths, but he's terrified to face his own. So he kept lying and lying and lying, plummeting into the depths of denial until reality itself became a distortion. This is the manga that reads you. I believe timing is everything. A story is relatable to you because you were in that specific time when it appeared to be relatable. What the fuck did I just say? Take shonen for example. The reason why the genre is so big is because it appeals to the biggest audience who might find the stories relatable. Some kid out there probably thinks he's gonna be the next Pirate King. Homunculus, obviously, is not a shonen. It's a seinen. It's where the big boys hang. It's not like anime where words brush past you. No, with manga, you feel the weight of those lines. I think I was just at the right place at the right time because the story started to hit a little too close to home. Nakoshi lies to avoid confronting uncomfortable truths. I told them I was a teacher just to make them happy. I make videos because I don't want to work for anybody else. I lie to myself saying that if I just keep making them, eventually this would all pay off and I make enough money to do this full time, when in reality, success on YouTube is not that simple. I've just revealed some really personal stuff. But that's what reading Homunculus does to you. You reflect on how twisted the characters see themselves and realize you're just as twisted yourself. There are 15 volumes, but it took me just one day to finish them all. Not all pages are filled with words. Some panels take up a whole page. Some pages don't ask to be read, they ask to be felt. When they talk, it's intriguing, but you never really grasp the context of what they're saying, and that makes you flip the page, then on to the next, then the next, and by the time you realize it, you've just finished one of the darkest psychological manga you'll ever read. Then you turn back to page 1 and it all feels different. All the symbols you missed now become clearer, and how you interpret each character's actions could reshape the entire story. Because to you, this might just be a guy staring down at his feet, but to me, that's a guy who eats his own cum.
Used to do